started working on this project well over a year and a half ago. And I happened to attend a reading, a book launch of Paulette Regan's book, Unsettling the Settler Within, which is basically about what it happens when people have an aha moment, shifting their understanding about First Nations and Métis. And so I thought, well, what an opportunity. What if I could partner with her and basically adapt her book to theater? The idea is that the performers, who are made up of community members from the greater Victoria area and beyond, are creating pieces from the heart. We expect there will be about 10 performance pieces that might range from 3 minutes to 8 minutes long. And none of these performance pieces are designed to say, this is what you should do about shifting the relationship between settler or immigrant or non-Indigenous people and Indigenous, First Nations, Métis, Inuit people. And we're not saying this is what you should do. All of these pieces, these theater pieces, are expressions of what the participants have found that speak to what they feel has shifted their understanding. So much of this work is about responding according to what you think you know.
If we didn't have the oral history, we would cease to be. So oral history is something that we hold in high esteem, and we celebrate greatly through our pa'aching, which is basically our celebration of life, birth, death, passage of rites. That's the way that we mark things orally.
I work as a facilitator during the week with the participants doing theater and storytelling, so supporting them to empower themselves to give voice to their own stories and exploring, their own history and their own ancestry. It will kind of all lead up to the workshops next weekend with Paulette, and also is supporting the work that Will is doing, the more technical side. I'm dealing more with the cultural, spiritual side, and then also acting as a cultural consultant with Will.
Tonight is a beautiful night. I will sit on my chair and be very still. I will let my body just relax right into the floor.
It is being approached from a settler point of view, and I'm very happy about that, because I've ever heard of a project where settlers have been genuinely committed and authentically interested in dedicating time to explore that issue by them in a sacred space by themselves. So to take ownership and to have that space to do their own work.
Here are people who really have just met each other in the last few weeks. They range in age from 18 to late 70s, all different cultural groups. Very few have ever done theater before. And yet in these workshops, they are creating astonishing work. Those among us who have done theater are sort of looking at each other saying, it's not just me, right? I've never seen anything like this.
And got it ready for me to delight. And moreover, I'm tired and sick of nagging you about your homework. You're to have it all done, and particularly the math. I don't want any more of this confrontation.
Leave me alone! You're always bothering me! I can do my homework on my own. I'll get it done. Leave my hair alone. I don't have any lice. Fiona only had lice for like a couple of days. I don't even have any lice.
And what I'm excited about is the fact that this is based in the arts and theater. We've got these two internationally acclaimed architects who are coming to work with us from the States to create an absolutely beautiful, spectacular, fascinating 10,000 square foot labyrinth out of fabric and found objects, doors and windows, salvage materials, natural materials, that'll be just so compelling, so irresistible. People will say, well, for $10 I can go on this thing. I think it will draw people in just because it's unusual and fascinating. And then once they're going through the labyrinth, they'll come upon these stories and songs, all performed by the community members. I'm hoping that the impact will be to open up dialogue in multiple layers among people in Victoria, and ultimately, because this is a pilot project, create a model that can be done across Canada in other communities as they do their own productions and promote this dialogue and move us forward as a country.